Police, turn around with your hands up. What is up, everybody? Random Man here, bringing you my review for The Old Man and the Gun. Set in the 1980s and based on the 2003 New Yorker article of the same name, which was later collected into the 2010 book, The Devil and Sherlock Holmes, the plot basically follows Forrest Tucker, played by Robert Redford, a 70-year-old career criminal and prison escape artist who has pulled off a series of unprecedented heists that confounds the authorities and enchants the public. As he's being chased after by Detective John Hunt, played by Casey Affleck, Tucker falls for a woman, played by Sissy Spacek, who seems to like him back despite his chosen profession. Going into this movie, I was really looking forward to it. Before this film premiered at the Telluride Film Festival back in August, it was already one of my most anticipated movies of 2018. One, for the cast, mainly Robert Redford in the lead role, as he's such a screen legend. He needs no introduction between his film roles in All the President's Men and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. This film is also written and directed by David Lowery, whose previous two films I have loved. He did the 2016 remake of Pete's Dragon and last year's A Ghost Story, which both of these movies were some of my favorite films of their respective years. Now, the interest for this movie has been upped by several people, mainly for Redford having announced that this is his final film performance, which, say it ain't so. I mean, some have cited that he's getting up there in age, so it was only a matter of time before he announced his retirement from acting. But the concept, coupled with Redford and the rest of the cast, still had me hooked. Starting out with the cast and their performances, we have Robert Redford in the title role of the old man, Forrest Tucker. Now, as I've said, this guy is an icon in the realm of film. And here, given how this is his final film role as it was recently announced by him, if this really is true, he has chosen a great way to go out on, as this role of this career criminal / prison escape artist fits him like a glove. He is so natural and all the more charming. Yeah, this guy is a crook, but you can't just help but like him for his really subtle and suave demeanor, not just on Sissy Spacek's character, but also on us as we are watching from the audience. Speaking of Sissy Spacek, the rest of the supporting cast here, which includes her, are also superb. Spacek plays the woman that Tucker falls for, yet she is a bit hesitant for being with the guy that has openly stated to her that he is someone who has robbed a lot of banks. But the chemistry between Spacek and Redford is instant, and really these two on screen are also a reflection of just screen legends working at the top of their game. There's also Casey Affleck, who is after Redford's Tucker the whole time, and yeah, he's determined to really get this guy and personally put the cuffs on him, as he says. And really, I thought he was fantastic as well. Tika Sumpter plays the wife to Affleck's detective character, and I like the screen time that she had, even though she didn't have that much to do. Then there's also Danny Glover and Tom Waits, who play the two partners of Tucker's. Those three together make up a trio of criminals that get a bunch of attention on the news for them being three old guys who have pulled off a string of successful bank robberies, and they're very good here. But overall, really, the cast is so great, but of particular note to Robert Redford here for delivering a tremendous final performance. The writing in this film, and by extension the direction by David Lowery, sets up this movie in a very easygoing manner. Now, right off the bat, as the movie begins after the opening logo, the movie makes it clear that this is based on a mostly true story. And really, the story that is presented in this film is almost too crazy to believe that actually happened, with this old dude having robbed a lot of banks over the years he has been a criminal, and really just wow. Again, it's mostly true though. And we do open up with Redford's Tucker having successfully robbed a bank with his good looks and charm, him fleeing the police, and then running into Sissy Spacek's character, who is pulled over on the side of the road having car trouble. That goes into what I've said with these two having an instant connection with each other. It goes without saying, as I've mentioned earlier, that Redford really anchors this movie with his good looks and charm again, which come into play whenever he is peacefully robbing a bank. Wow, I never thought I'd be able to think of that. A peaceful bank robbery and him just smiling and saying, "This is a robbery, put all the cash in the bag," and what have you. And what else the movie does, aside from Redford creating a character that you root for despite him doing something illegal, the movie creates a sense of atmosphere that really feels vintage in what we are watching. This goes a lot into the actual look of the film, in how, again, it takes place in the 1980s, and the cinematography has some notable fine grain on it. It made me so absorbed with what I was seeing in watching how far Tucker was able to go and how the police would be able to catch up with him and whatnot. And with this being a mostly true story, it still had me really suspending my disbelief to where, yeah, this is happening. And just the demeanor that this movie presents itself with, again, it's easygoing, very laid back, witty. This movie is funny with some of the dialogue and other writing, and just with how it feels like something that is good old-fashioned in the way it is made. It really feels like a movie that was made from decades ago. Despite this movie having been completed before Redford had announced his retirement from acting, it feels like a fitting send-off, not just in the way of him giving one more great performance, but also the subtlety in what is presented, especially towards the end, that tributes Redford and what he has done throughout his career. One particular shot overtly makes that clear in this specific montage sequence that I do not want to give away. It's not a typical heist movie either, where it utilizes the flash bang boom archetype to keep our attention going, as it takes its time, having a lot of dialogue driven scenes where we see our two leads, specifically Redford and Spacek, flesh themselves out and also provide some insight on getting older, and that reinforces to Redford's character in particular as to why he's a career criminal, why he robs banks. It's his way of personally living. I've already mentioned a technical merit, like with the cinematography, making it feel like I'm watching a movie from the decade it is set in. Same thing goes with the production design in the vehicles, the locations, the sounds, all of that making it feel like it is the 1980s. I also have to give a shout out to the music, which was composed by Daniel Hart, who previously collaborated with David Lowery on A Ghost Story, Casey Affleck also starring in this film. And the music here, while it's not as mesmerizing as something like A Ghost Story did, and really making me so allured with what that movie's atmosphere created, here it provides a fitting southern twang kind of background to where, yeah, you feel like you're in this area of the US, the Southwest specifically, where the movie is taking place, as Redford's Tucker has robbed banks from a total of 5 states. Really, the only issue I would say I have is towards the end, the movie kind of feels like it is stretching itself out a bit thin, not too much, but with the movie's running time being particularly short, it's about an hour and 33 minutes, so like an hour and a half less minus the end credits. The way the movie was ending after a lot of the big events were said and done, it did feel like it was stretching itself a little bit and the pacing feeling slow in that regard. But this in no way derailed the movie at all for me, as with its short running time still being mostly well paced out and overall as a movie in general, I thought it was such a pleasant experience that took a simple premise that was almost too wild to be true. I mean, I'm still shocked at some tidbits that this movie said happened, even though this movie is mostly based in reality, not 100%. Like the tidbit of Tucker having been imprisoned and escaped 16 times before the movie's events first occurred. Like, wow. But yeah, with a simple premise of the central old man evading the police while falling for another older woman, still made for something that is a gift from Redford himself as an actor to provide us with a final performance that is not only excellent, but also be in a film that feels like something that he would have starred in decades ago, yet was made in today's day and age. Sure, it's bittersweet seeing Robert Redford not be in movies anymore, just like with Daniel Day-Lewis recently having his final performance in Paul Thomas Anderson's fantastic Phantom Thread, but we get to see Redford perform one last time on the big screen, and what a way he has chosen to go out on. I loved The Old Man and the Gun. It is one of my favorite movies of 2018 thus far. I highly recommend it. My final verdict for The Old Man and the Gun is 4.5 out of 5 stars. One final note before I end this video. If you're seeing this review around the time it's been uploaded, know that there is still time to enter the giveaway contest I gave details on in my review for Venom. The contest ends this Sunday, the 14th, so if you haven't already, head on over to my review for Venom to find out more details about how to enter the contest. Thank you all, as always, for watching. Be sure to like this video, comment on what you thought of The Old Man and the Gun, social media links in the description, subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll catch you on the next movie review.